Jurgen, it's so close, huge effort this season with so much success, but must be heartbroken tonight.
Yeah, of course. The mood in the dressing room is obviously nobody feels a great season in this moment. We probably need a few minutes for that, maybe hours. But it was with an end. The two decisions were against us were for the smallest margin possible. So that's it. We played a good game, not a perfect game, but it was obviously, I don't think a perfect game would have been possible against the opponent. How the setup was, how they set it up with the deep formation, going for counterattacks, going for the long balls, these kind of things. That was tricky. That was actually the situation where they became dangerous, like with the disallowed goal in the first half. It was one ball which we couldn't defend in the first place. So we had a lot of shots, but obviously not the clearest. Only 3 or so where Courtois made top saves. Yeah, and then we conceded a goal after a throw-in, I think, and switched to the other side. I think Kavash wanted to shoot, but Vinicius was there, and that's it.
And you must be disappointed at a goal on the break like that, the one you gave away.
Yeah. Oh, look, goals you concede you never like. That's it's actually not if they shoot from 25 yards, it's a goal you don't like as well. Yes, but again, the boys tried absolutely everything. I think especially after we were 1-0 down. Then we actually played like we wanted to play before, because with the deep formation we had our midfielders too deep. We could have been there with the centre halves, the midfielders more in the formation, could have caused them more problems. But it's really the threat they are with the counterattacks. It's completely normal that we are more. We wanted to be more brave in the second half. That's what we said in half time, to use the. So they let us play. We played around them, and we should have played more in the formation than around. So that's it.
You've still won 2 trophies this season. I mean, you challenged right to the end. I mean, it's hard to get that kind of perspective right now. But
no, it's not hard. No, I have that already. But actually, to be 100% honest, I'm the only one in the dressing room. But it's like it feels different. And I know I said it after we lost against Sevilla and Basel and or in Kiev and these kind of things. It's not bad to get to the final. And that's already kind of success. I know not the success you want to have, but I have the strong feeling we come again. Well, that's how it is, because the boys are really competitive. We have an outstanding group together. We will have again an outstanding group together next year, and then we go again. And we have to try it a bit more often than others, but no problem.
That's what you did last time in Kiev. You came back in Madrid. So
where's the next year? Istanbul, or where? Champions League final. Yeah. Book the hotel.
Put it in the diary. Yeah. Thanks, Jurgen.
Welcome.
Hold on a minute. That's what Liverpool fans want to hear, isn't it?
I think that sums him up. He's disappointed. He's hurting right now, but there's no doubt about it. Him and his team will be back. Salah's already said that he's going to be here next year. I know there's a bit of noise around Mane, but why would you want to leave this Liverpool team? Because you know they're going to be competitive at the business end of the season. OK, they never won the league in the last few weeks, and they've come up short tonight, but they've attacked everything and they've been, this close away from having an incredible season.
So how do we sum up the season then? Because it feels ridiculous to call it a disappointing season when you win 2 trophies. To account they lost the league by 1 point and they got to the final and dominated for large periods. Like, that is a part of the story.
Well, there's disappointment at the end of the season, no question about it. All those Liverpool players and fans around the world will be disappointed. But what you've got to remember is about 7 days ago we were talking about this could be the biggest, the best season of all time, ever. So you can't go from that to just saying, it's disappointing. You've got to put it into perspective. 2 trophies, 1 point away from winning the league on 92 points. 1 step away from the Champions League. Yes, it's been disappointing at the end, but when you put it into perspective, this is a seriously good team who will pick up plenty of trophies in the future.
Yeah, they will, but there's no doubt in my mind that these guys will be on the beaches or wherever they'll be on their holidays, and they'll have huge disappointment. They'll be having nightmares about this for this whole summer. And them 2 trophies that they've won won't do anything to kind of like appease that, unfortunately. I had seasons where we won the league, we lost the Champions League on the last day, and the summer was ruined, didn't even enjoy it. So they haven't even won the league. So it's going to be a tough summer for them, but I think that the motivation's there for them guys. And like the guy said, this is a team that's going to be in contention in Europe and domestically for many seasons to come now. The way they recruit at the moment, they've been fantastic in that department, and the culture that they've got set at the club right now is one where you feel players are going to rather come to rather than wanting to leave.
The biggest thing was Jürgen signing the deal. You know they're going to be there and thereabout when the big prizes are given out. For as long as he's at this club, he's going to be challenging because he pushed them all away, and they're going to need Jürgen now to reset, get some rest, refreshing up, and come back bigger and stronger next year.
And what's the right way for him to deal with this now? Is it just to let the players go on holiday, have a break, don't think about football for a few weeks, and then come in and kind of address things?
Yeah, you have to take the batteries out. These guys have been going at it. Like we said before, they've played every single game available to them in the calendar. So you've got to let them go away, recharge, take their mind off football. But that's very much easier said than done. To tell these guys to do that is hard.
They're littered with internationals, so they've got to go and play 3, 4, 5 internationals now, which Jürgen won't like that. But he needs to be.
Some have got to go and qualify for a World Cup.
Exactly, but they do need 3-4 weeks at the back end of these internationals to reset physically and mentally, because they're probably going to have to play a similar number of games next year because they're a difficult team to beat.
What about as a manager? How have you found, obviously physically it's incomparable, but the mental drain of management compared to being a player?
Well, I've got about 5 minutes left of work and then I'm switching off for 3-4 weeks. I'm going away. No, you've got to because it is draining. It is 24/7, especially if you're Jürgen Klopp. You're going in a European competition as well. It's probably been relentless for him since, when would you say they returned? Early July?
Yeah.
So the guy deserves a break. He'll be on a beach next week, I'm sure, with a cold beer, a cigarette. He'll be reflecting, he'll be analysing, but he'll also remind himself that he's managing one of the best and strongest teams in the world, and he knows he's one of the best. He's calm, he's collective, and just that last comment there in the interview, he knows he'll be back, and it won't be too long.
I'll tell you what he will be a little bit worried about though is the squad in terms of those front players. Salah, yes, he said I'll stay for another year, but that just papers over a crack for a year. I'm not sure Liverpool will want him to do that extra year if he's not going to sign. All of a sudden, not going to let him go for free next summer. And of course Sadio Mane as well, so that will capture his thoughts over the next couple of weeks as well, as he's trying to relax. And
it's constant evolution though, isn't it? You don't relax at all. I tell you what, let's get some more reaction, because Seema is up on the platform, and look who she's with. Seema.
Thank you, Jake. Well, actually, let's just continue that conversation about Liverpool here, because it's been a sensational season for them, but in the last week it's ended in disappointment. What's the biggest thing that Liverpool will have learnt from tonight, do you think, Owen?
I thought they were unlucky. I thought Stevie said, they didn't really do anything wrong. Courtois had probably one of the best games we've ever seen from a goalkeeper in a final. He made big saves at crucial moments, and that's, he's one of the best goalkeepers in the world. He showed that. Real Madrid had great experience in crucial moments that helped them win the game. I don't think, Liverpool did much wrong. Real Madrid just had a game plan and it worked. Credit Carlo Ancelotti, one of the greatest managers we've ever had. With that group of players, the experience that they had, they did enough. Liverpool had a very good season, could have been one of the best seasons ever, and it just shows you, Seema, the margins are fine. We saw it in the Premier League, only losing by a point, and now in the Champions League. So they've had a very, very good season, one of the best sides in the world of football. They'll be there again. They're too good, and they're getting better every season, Seema.
Without a doubt, Liverpool will bounce back from this, won't they, Crouchy? But Don Carlo, he strikes again. How does he keep doing it year in, year out?
No, he's an incredible manager, an incredible man. I think we need to respect Real Madrid and their performance defensively. I thought they were fantastic. They beat Paris Saint-Germain, and we always talk about how amazing the Premier League is. They've beat our 3 best teams in the Premier League, and they've done it over the course of 2 legs, and they deserve winners today.
They have that something special when it comes to this competition. What is it, Owen?
History, experience. I think Maka touched on it before the game. The fact that you're playing with so much pride. Representing the history, the great players. They're all here. We saw Zidane in the crowd, Ronaldo, Raúl, Hierro was here as well. You're playing to represent those guys that created this legacy, and you can just see, even though they're under the caution, they were against Chelsea and PSG and Man City, they can hang in there. They have the experience to hang in there. take it, and then they know they're going to get a moment where they can go and win the game, and that's exactly what happened.
But Liverpool, obviously, they'll be incredibly down at the moment, and they'll think, it's so difficult to pick themselves back up, but they can look at themselves in the mirror and know they've had a fantastic season. I mean, so close to doing something that no one's ever achieved, and it's ripped away from them today, but they've had an amazing season, and they'll bounce back next year.
And you think about the signings and the players that have come in. Can you imagine someone like Diaz has only been here since January? I mean, what can they achieve when he's with them for a full season?
I just think the whole squad, is fantastic. They're improving every season. Boys mentioned the recruitment is outstanding. They got one of the best managers in the world of football. They're going to be there for every trophy. Liverpool, Man City, they'll be there. Chelsea will come again. But you got to respect Real Madrid. What they're able to do here today as the underdogs throughout the whole competition, it's pretty remarkable. And you got to take your hat off to them. I know it's tough for Liverpool to lose, but you got to take your hat off to the champs. To hang in there, to win Champions League trophies 4 or 5 times. Carlo Ancelotti has done it 4 times. That's truly remarkable.
It is, and no doubt the party in Paris will be on late into the night for Real Madrid this evening, Jake.
Indeed, Seema. Indeed it will. In fact, they're not making any attempt to leave the pitch at the moment. You can see them over there, friends, family, photos. Quite a few of the fans have stayed in. On that note, let's hear from Andy Robertson. Let's get his reaction. You saw him trudge past us a few minutes ago looking absolutely dejected. Here are his thoughts.
Andy, that must be tough to swallow. A lot of disappointment in that dressing room right now.
Yeah, spot on, obviously. Quiet, devastated. That's what happens when you come to finals and you don't win. We had chances. We came up against an unbelievable goalie tonight. He pulled off some unbelievable saves, but if we're being honest as well, I think we could have played a bit better, especially second half. I thought first half we played well, we were in control, we were the ones kind of pushing. Second half we didn't start great. They started getting a hold of the game a bit more, and when you come up against an experienced team like that, they know how to win finals, and they once they got their noses in front, they showed that.
And that was the danger. They were going to get something on the break, which they did.
Yeah, look, we're a pressing team. We tried to press from the front, and it's worked so much for us, this season and all seasons and things like that. And we were trying to win the ball high up, and obviously they've ended up breaking down, and then we've been caught back post, and next minute, it's in the back of your net, and that's football. That's football for you, and you have to deal with that. And then obviously it's hard to get back into the game when you're playing against a very experienced team in these finals and things like that. They know exactly how to see out a game. We had our chances, but it just wasn't meant to be.
Oh, he looks really disappointed, and he's now got to go and lift himself, having lost the Premier League title a few days ago, the Champions League title tonight. He's now got to go and try and help Scotland get to a World Cup.
I know that's part of being a footballer at the top. You can't win them all. He'll have a little bit of time now. I'm sure he'll have a few days off just to reset himself, and he needs to get himself back focused, because he's got huge games for Scotland. But that's what you need to do. You need to be tough at the top. It's about bouncing back from setbacks, and I'm sure he will.
OK, well, talking of bouncing back then, what happens over this summer for Liverpool? I mean, we know that Michael Edwards is leaving, so it's a change when it comes to recruitment. Where do they need to focus recruitment-wise, do you think, this summer to keep moving forwards, to keep pace with the others?
Depends where they lose players, if they lose players. I mean, they've got plenty up front. I don't think they need to do anything there unless someone like Sadio Mane leaves. I think central midfield is probably an area, the next area of surgery. You've got Fabinho, that's pretty much a fixture, but then you've got Milner and Henderson that are getting it on in years. Keita, still to be convinced. Thiago, good player, but I think if they were going to go and plug one gap now, then I'd say that midfield area, number 8 type of player.
Yeah, I fully agree. I think a midfield player with a bit of creativity as well, because late on in the game, the creativity, that area was probably the one area we're probably searching for a little bit more in the team when Thiago's not on the pitch. I think special mention has to go to Konate today. I think the way he's coming, a young guy coming and playing centre half, the business end of the season, and he's put in faultless performance after faultless performance. Today he was the best defender on the pitch in terms of an individual performance. Collectively, Madrid were fantastic, but as an individual, 1v1 situations, dominant. He was tremendous, and he can take some good credit out of this game, even though they have lost.
Yeah, listen, I totally agree with what Rio's saying. Jordan and James Milner are not getting any younger. They're still top players at this level, of course, and they'll want to go on and do more. But for Liverpool, if you think about the next 5, 6, 7 years, they're going to need a midfielder, an 8 who can get goals, who can get double figures, because they are heavily reliant on the front 3 or 4 if you include Jota, or 5 with Firmino. But you'd always need one of them midfielders that's going to get into the box and get you goals.
Okay, we'll of course see what happens next, and we don't want to end on a sour note, but as I'm sure you are well aware, during the build-up to this, tear gas was used outside. We saw fans coming in, including children. Their eyes were streaming. There was a long delay to the kick-off, 36-minute delay in the end, and there has been a statement released from UEFA, and they've said that in the lead-up to the game, the turnstiles at the Liverpool end became blocked by thousands of fans who had purchased fake tickets, which didn't work in the turnstiles. This created a build-up of fans trying to get in. As a result, the kick-off was delayed by 35 minutes to allow fans to get in. As numbers outside the stadium continued to build up after kick-off, the police dispersed them with tear gas and forced them away from the stadium. UEFA is sympathetic to those affected by these events and will further review these matters urgently together with the French police and authorities and the French Football Federation. But certainly, I'm sure many of you have seen the videos and the photos on social media. It doesn't make good viewing. Not the news that we wanted to end on after what has been an incredible Champions League season. And listen, I know it's a disappointing result for you as well, but thanks very much for coming out of your punditry retirement for us this evening.
Pleasure.
And you can now go and lay on the beach. It looks like you've done some good business at Villa for the summer, so you can rest a little bit.
Yeah, listen, we've tried to get in while people are sleeping and try and make some big pieces of the jigsaw. We're really, happy where we are right now. It's exciting moving forward, but it's time to switch off for a few weeks. Of course, I'll be on the phone doing what I need to do, but I'm really looking forward to a full pre-season, and I'm optimistic for next year.
Brilliant. Well, well done this season.
Cheers.
Pleasure to have you back again. Michael, thank you so much. All season long, we've enjoyed it, haven't we? What a remarkable Champions League season it's been, and already we're starting to get excited about what next season will offer. And of course, you can see every single match right here on BT Sport all the way to the final, from the 4 of us, from the whole team, from everyone involved, from the very first game of this Champions League season. Thank you so much for joining us.